Hello all! Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It's great to see all the students again. I usually kind of just lurk in the background during our lab sessions and let Monica and Angel take the lead, but it's nice to see all your faces again and to see our guests who kindly joined us. We're so excited to share what Locust Art Builder Lab students have been up to these last 3 weeks. As everyone here knows, Locust Projects is Miami's longest running alternative art space. Founded by artists for artists over 20 years ago, our mission is to create opportunities for visual artists at all career stages, including high school, invite risk-taking and experimentation, activate conversation around new art and ideas, and advocate for artists and creative practices. So create, invite, activate, and advocate. And I'm emphasizing that because I'm going to send the students a survey later this week that's going to ask them about that. Our student artists represent high schools all across South Florida, and we believe that each of them has the potential to make an impact in the art world or in whatever career path they ultimately choose. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Monica Pena, and I oversee the Wavemaker grants and other programs at Locust Projects. This year, one of our Wavemaker grantees, Luna Goldberg, is a lab alum, actually. She's from the very first year of lab, and she received a Wavemaker grant this year to curate an exhibition on monuments from several countries around the world. So that is very exciting to see her continued success in the art world and her continued connection and relationship with Locust Projects, and we're happy to be able to continue to support her after all these years. On behalf of Lab and Locust Projects, I'd like to thank the following for making Locust Art Builders Lab Summer Art Intensive for Teens possible. Lead support from Hillsdale Fund Inc. and the Albert and Jane Nahmad Family Foundation. Additional support provided by the Miami-Dade County Department of Cultural Affairs and the Children's Trust, the Kirk Foundation, Susan and Richard Arregui, Miami Salon Group, and donors to the Team Lab Annual Education Fund. The 2020 lab exhibition, which will be installed very soon, we're very excited about that, is sponsored in part by Kalexy Graphics and Signs. I'd also like to say hello to some of our board members who I believe are here today. Karen Boyer and Elizabeth Bailey. And you can say hi and wave. Hi, good to see you.
I think I see Nicole Chippy in there too.
Oh, great. Haven't seen that friendly face in a while. Hi, Nicole. And of course, Weston Charles, who's one of the founding artists of Locust Projects and has been a big supporter of Lab. Finally, Lab is in its 10th year, which is quite an accomplishment and really exciting. That's due in large part to the dedication of Lab founder, lead instructor, and talented visual artist, Monica Lopez de Victoria. And she's going to be taking it from here. So Monica, are you ready?
Yeah, thank you so much. And yet again, thank you so much, all of you, for stopping in to say hello to us. And this is a unique year, but the students have been really, really wonderful with like showing up and being active in this. So it's been a new, exciting journey. So yeah, Monica mentioned that this program has been around for 10 years now. And each year, I feel like the reason why it gets stronger or continues to stay around because of the belief in the artists. And then also with like the experimental, way that we are maneuvering as we go. And, each year it changes and shifts a little bit according to the needs of the students. We really feel like they're the future wave. I mean, you guys are the future wave. So you know, why not professionally give them, you know, these different types of techniques to educate them and help them skip a lot of steps that maybe, you know, like I or other professional artists who have been working for over 10 years, maybe they can skip some of these processes, you know, or these steps. And so we bring in speakers that are also, you know, professional artists in the field, like curators. I see Elizabeth is here, or Liz. She was a speaker this year. It was wonderful to have her a part of it. And you really, you know, just to have professionals explain like their process, like how they got from high school to where they are now, because that's a big blank in the minds of a lot of students. You know, I mean, I know I had a big blank at that time. And so why not, you know, like give them the skills to really be able to be their best from a young age. So let's, you know, investing in our Miami community early on, which is really, really, I find it a privilege, and I'm so grateful to be able to be a part of this. I feel like I learn every single year from all of you guys, you know, everybody, you know, you get an update in what's relevant, what's moving people. And every year I feel like the exhibitions are very good reflections on what's happening, you know, in the world, and especially the world of all you guys who are dealing with the emotional impact and the life impact of things as a teenager. So it's really, really exciting program. So I guess that being said, we have another few things that, did you want to talk about, Monica, or we had to mention, or no? You're muted. It's okay.
Thanks. Yeah, I also wanted to, I saw other members of our team at Locust Projects pop in, so I just wanted to say hi and thank you to Lori, of course, our executive director, for all of her generous support of this program, and also Charity, who invited our guests here today. Alex, and I'm not sure if Jordan's on, but she's of course also a big help. So just say hello to them and thank them for supporting everything we've been doing here the last 3 weeks. And I guess, Angel, if you want to just tell us a little bit about your experience with Lab and your role in the program, we'd love to hear it.
Can I jump in before? So Angel was a part of Lab 2 years ago. And so each year we try to invite somebody from the past to basically be an assistant and a mentor to the young artists, you know, as well as helping out with the program. But we're able to hire on an assistant that has past experience, and we have the lovely Angel.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, that I did it the summer before my junior year in 2018. And it was the first time. I loved like teamwork, and in high school I was in the film program at my school, so I kind of was familiar with working with other people to create a project, but not at the scale that Lab had it at. So it was certainly an experience, and I definitely I was curious about how it went in 2019 and stuff like that, and I wanted to be a part of it. And fortunately, I thought I wouldn't be able to because I live really far away from Locust Projects, but this year I had the opportunity to be able to be the virtual assistant, which was very nice. So I've been having just a lot of fun being able to see what this year entails. You know, it's very different from usual, but I could still see the way that this type of teamwork kind of changes people and how people can put their own art into this new experience the way that I did 2 years ago. So it's very nice to see.
Yeah, and that's something I didn't actually touch on, is that while being, you know, having these opportunities of professional development, they're building an exhibition the same exact time, which is really hard. I mean, it's super hard, you know, so they're all really challenged with, you know, like what they're supposed to do. I mean, you're supposed to do this, you know, this exhibition at a top level, and while learning how to do it, but then also, you know, being taught and getting advice from these different people in our community. So Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna call on a few people so that they can explain a little bit of what we've been doing, where we are kind of. So I'm first gonna call on Ava. So Ava, can you tell us what school you're from, what grade, and a little bit about yourself and why and how you're involved and what we're doing? That's a lot.
All right, yeah, it's fine. My name is Ava and I go to Dash. I'm going into my junior year now, and I found out about lab through Mr. Charles, actually, my art teacher. And I started this program mainly as a way to focus on my art during summer, and I wanted to really develop my skills, and I saw lab as an opportunity to do that. And I feel like I've had many valuable experiences now, meeting all sorts of working artists in Miami through these Zoom meetings, and I really value that. And so right now, working on the exhibition. If you don't mind, I can talk about our concept and stuff like that. So our core idea is based off of transformation. We came up with this after thinking about the nature of the space being like all the vinyl decals on the windows, and how the exhibition can move from window to window like a game of exquisite corpse. So you're changing the exhibition from window to window to window, and it's constantly transforming and going through these different iterations. And so we really wanted to express different kinds of change, and because I think that it's obviously very prevalent. It's a very prevalent idea in our current times, right? Our world is rapidly changing before our eyes. And I think that we also feel like as teenagers, we're in this transformative state as well. So kind of piecing together all of these ideas and visually representing them in this cohesive way through our exhibition, that's what it's all been about, right? Transformation and change. So hope that was enough to give like a brief, summary. Thank you.
Sure, yeah, that helps us. We're still you all are still in the process of deciding. Right after our meet and greet here today, we have to finalize some big things for the final version of what they're gonna have. It's been a challenge, but I think we're going to come out with something. I guess we'll see. It's always an experiment. And that's kind of the really exciting and super scary part of it. It's the journey and the ride of being an artist, and it's real and it's live, and it's at a top attention level. School students, a great opportunity. I want to call on Isabella. So Isabella, can you explain to us a little bit more? I think I spoke to you about some of that.
Yeah, so basically, I've personally never experimented with anything besides painting and very physical stuff. So when I found out about lab through a friend of mine that goes to my art school, I thought it'd be an interesting way to experiment in more digital aspects. So we decided, in one of our many ways of processing our works, we were deciding on, should we do Illustrator pieces? Should we do zines? Should we just trying to figure out what we should do? And we ended up kind of saying, hey, why don't we include film into this? So me and a few other artists, we decided to make a film on transformation, and mainly how being isolated from society, like how we are today, can really affect our mental health. So it's a very anxiety type of film. and I personally think we did a really good job, and I'm very excited for you guys to see that. But the idea of transformation is something that everybody goes through, which is why our show is called the way that it is. Am I allowed to say what?
Yeah, say the title. Say it.
Okay,
What-
so the
yep.
title is called The Rebirth, which sounds dramatic and I love it, but it's basically supposed to mean that we rebirth as new people every time we transform from like a traumatic event. We go through something and we learn from that and we become a better person. And so all like this entire exhibition is all about that. And we worked collectively together. We've been working so hard trying to come up with what the pieces, how the pieces are going to work cohesively. And I think we've figured that out. You know, we have multiple group chats on Instagram on how we're going to work with everything, and we're all working very well together. I can tell that this exhibition is going to be really, really good, and I'm very excited for that.
You know, I haven't even seen, you know, the what you guys have done over the weekend,
Yeah.
and I'm curious to find out because it's crunch time, and you know, I know a lot of work quite often for many artists gets done a little bit closer to the deadline than maybe we all would want.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes that's the nature of the game. You try to prepare way ahead of time, and sometimes the inspiration or the magic just kind of just only happens a little later. Okay, awesome. So I want to call on Miona Clay, and she can explain a little bit about what they've been doing with your part.
Okay, so we also came up with the idea to make a zine that will include like all of the sketches of like what other people's ideas are for the windows, like what we've done throughout the weeks. Like we made these cards, well, we decorated like a deck of cards basically. So we're going to include that. There's going to be a description of the actual zine. There's going to be a description of the whole show. What else? Sorry. And then there, at the last pages, there's going to be all the window display of like a picture of it. And that's basically it. But yeah, it's just to show like what we've done throughout the weeks and also like the ideas we've come up with.
Yeah, because it's been a process. It hasn't been like, you know, this was exactly, you know, what everybody wanted to do from the start. It's a whole, it's a big, you know, it's very challenging to have this many people, not just, you know, at high school age, but this many people in general to come to a consensus for something. I mean, that's hard. And so basically, to everybody who is here listening in with us, I mean, these students are doing things that are much harder, I think, than sometimes what we do as independent artists in our own careers. So, you know, why not give them all the hard stuff now, and then college and your career is going to be easy. You know, at least that's what we hope for. You know, that will be a little bit, this is like a professional weaning into the real world. And each year, like, this is different because of it being digital, but each year, you know, like basics, like, you know, how to hang a piece, or how to build a shelf, how to display, how to light, how to wire, you know, how to do things like that. Which this year we're not able to focus specifically on, but the past 9 years really focused on that. And so that's one really. So let's see. Can one of you guys share some of the designs that you have come up with over the weekend? Maybe Ava?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I can share my concept for the layout. I did it today, basically. I kind of pulled an all-nighter, so it's been a long night, but I can show it now. Yeah. I'm going to need to like be able to, okay, it's already enabled.
Screen
Screen
sharing.
sharing. Okay, perfect, yeah. So this is supposed to be where the entrance is. And I kind of like wanted to start with just the entrance because I feel like I think Miss Liz Shannon mentioned this when she gave our meeting, that it should be able to be read in multiple ways. So if you start from the entrance, I mean, you could also start from like quote unquote the beginning. We have this, there's a couple things going on. First of all, it's very plant-based. I took a lot of imagery from things that people were putting in the Google Drive and kind of meshed it all together. And it's supposed to be representative of positive growth and change that occurs as a natural part of life, and also a response to one's environment. There's sections that I've written off. I don't know if this is necessarily possible. It's just kind of my idea, where we can cut into the vinyl and display the video from the monitor, like that's behind the window.
Yeah, we'll go over those. We'll go over that part later. So
yeah,
all of you watching in, this is still a work in progress. So
yes.
Ava's really generous to show us in the process work, which is a very sensitive thing usually, at least I understand, or I feel that way.
Yeah. And we've also kind of decided on this this serpent that'll follow along the windows, and it kind of ties everything together, and it changes as the mood of the piece changes. So, you know, you'll go along and it starts to get a little darker. You have this section here. It's based off of some of what Miona was doing and some of like, I don't know, maybe I think it was Kimberly. I can get, I don't remember like who did what, but it's basically change that occurs under negative influence, under pressure, and parts of life that we experience that transforms us in a, whether the change that occurs is positive or bad, the circumstances were negative. And so this kind of continues on to the entrance. That's supposed to be, I think, in my opinion, would be what is neutral. The video could be shown through these like spaces here, and we have this motif of a snake eating its own tail. It's supposed to represent these ideas of rebirth and change and renewal. And so then we take a lot of people in the program were thinking of change, rebirth, and renewal in more spiritual terms. And so I kind of wanted to represent those ideas with this last section. And the snake changes colors. It's a lot cooler now. So, you know, it's supposed to be more meditative almost, kind of something more calmer. So very introspective kinds of changes. And yeah, we end the final section, I think, with more of this natural motif. And it's the other head of the snake. I kind of didn't really know what to put here. So again, it's a work in progress, open to suggestions. But this would be more video space. Yeah, that's basically the development that I was working on this weekend.
Thank you very much for sharing. It's nice to see a visual compilation. I know, woo, hard work, everybody. This is my first time seeing that full layout. You know, I got scared this weekend, you know, but I get scared every single last weekend of this program. Every single time I get so nervous for you guys, but because I want the best and I want you guys to be able to show your best. So thank you very much for showing that, even though it's not a done piece yet. You know, there's definitely things we have to go over and tweak, but it's wonderful to see how I'm seeing so many different parts of our conversations come together. And I love it that you referenced Liz's advice about, you know, looking at things in multiple angles. And it's wonderful that you guys are you know, listening to this advice that's gems, you know, that are being given to you by our speakers that we've invited, and that's awesome. It's super cool.
Monica,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to add that, you mentioned that in previous years of lab, of course, the students have gathered on site and there have been a lot of hands-on skill learning. And this year, of course, we couldn't do that, but we did have the advantage of practicing our digital skills more. And I think that's really cool, and it shows. And also, just overhearing and overseeing your conversations with the students, there's always, of course, an emphasis on the skill of art making, but you've really put a lot of care into kind of the emotional and the ideas, and that part is really coming through when we're talking about kind of this theme and this feeling and the spirituality and whatever, and all those conversations that the students were having that you were leading, I feel like are really starting to reflect in the work that they're conducting.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting like already like, I'm already gonna get like teary-eyed here because I get so proud of them. All us little art babies and art nerds. I'm an art nerd, so don't worry, it's not a put down. It's great. I love people who are super into art making. Yeah, I mean, all these students here are very talented in their own right, as far as like what they're creating in their own work. So that kind of is, we don't have to worry about that part, because everybody's very skilled in many different ways. So it's interesting to see how the skills can work towards each other. And at first, we'll show each other work, and then also our speakers then are bringing in kind of like assignments and projects to like help them really kind of think of how to put stuff together and how to think about work personally and then collaboratively as well. So let's go on. Let's see. Let's open it up to questions. So anybody who wants to start us off? Yes. Elizabeth.
First of all, I am so impressed by everything you've done, you kids. And I'm even teary and I wasn't involved in it. So really just a big shout out to you guys. I'm really curious how you manage the collaboration with so many kids, so many students, so many artists. Did you break into groups? I mean, anybody can respond to this who wants to, or however you want to handle it, Monica. But did you?
I would like to answer that question.
Okay, great.
Okay, so
we lost your video.
Sorry, I'm back.
That's okay. Thanks.
Sorry, I'm back. I had got a phone call. Yikes. Well, yeah, we set up an Instagram account. Basically, we have a group chat. So all of us are involved, social media. All of us have Instagram. So, we kind of networked and we were all in like a big group. So from then, I'm pretty sure that everybody branched off into different groups and like conversing whatever on a one-on-one basis, but we were all together.
Yeah, and that was a part that I was not a part of, so that they could have their independent voice and not have like a teacher basically in there, because this is very them. This needs to be them and what they're passionate about, what they want to do.
So
anybody else?
You didn't break into smaller groups. You really did have this going.
I mean, at first it was all independent projects. Then we did some collaborative kind of moments, and then group discussions, and then also while they were not on Zoom, they were having these discussions on Instagram, and totally separate. And then they broke into this past before the weekend, they broke into smaller groups, like for the zine, for the video, for the layout. Anybody else? Let's see. That wants to, yeah, Laurie.
Very cool. Thank you all again. So I'm just curious, through that collaborative, and Monica, you were talking about how everyone has their own practice. The students were really selected based off of their portfolios that they submitted. So as you said, each has their own practice. But you know, it was interesting to see illustration as sort of the aesthetic overall that links it's a very coherent exhibition across the windows. You know, this is a public art project. This is going to be seen by every single person who goes along North Miami Avenue. So I thought it was so interesting that you all chose to have one coherent theme and image as opposed to individual works, because you had almost the 25 different windows for each one of you. And the fact that there's no photography, which we all live with this thing in our hands, our portable camera.
There's a part.
There is? Okay.
Yeah, there's a part. Cooper has a photo element in there. Yeah, you gotta,
okay.
When it goes up, you'll see a little more.
All right.
It was like the background part,
I
right?
was just curious about the process of, like, you know, were there challenges in your group discussion about, or was it easy to come to the decision to have this more unified image and aesthetic through the project? Thanks.
So I want one of you guys to answer that.
Would it be all right if I answered?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so that's an interesting question, because I feel like initially it was challenging to really land on an idea, because we were kind of all like talking, saying things, you know, like it was kind of very formless, but I think that it was actually surprisingly easy for everybody to kind of become unified with this idea of transformation after, like, it clicked, right? And we all kind of realized that this was the direction we wanted to take the show in. So like, and simply because I believe that this concept of transformation is very it's very broad, and it kind of envelops a lot of the things that we were talking about before we settled on one idea. So, you know, it was pretty easy to just kind of fall into that category and work with that concept.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you,
yeah.
Ava. Anyone else want to add to that?
Actually, Catherine, do you mind adding to that?
Yes. So at the beginning, like Ava said, it was difficult. I mean, not like extremely difficult to settle on a concept, but, you know, everyone was pitching in what they thought should be done and what they wanted to incorporate. But eventually, when we, you know, we said, like, we have to figure something out and we have to come to a consensus, and we started forming the concept. It was easy for a lot of people to be like, yeah, I understand what the concept is and I can interpret it in my own way. I know you asked mainly about, like, how we decided to make it a cohesive piece rather than separate pieces. We thought that it would, in regards to, like, the concept, it would make much more sense for it to be a cohesive piece with something going through it that connects everything. And that was going to be a little bit challenging because everyone has different styles, but with the snake element that we added, it was simpler to connect every piece and make them look more cohesive. So yes.
Can I add to that? I'm sorry.
Yes, please. I actually was going to call on you next. Awesome.
That's funny. I'm Olivia, if you guys, but also adding on to what Catherine said, with all of our, like, mentors that, like, came and spoke to us, it was, like, a very unique experience that, like, I'm pretty sure, like, a lot of us haven't experienced before. And I feel like we took a lot of their advice and, like, tried, like, putting it into, like, our work. And also, like Monica was saying earlier this week, sometimes people just drive by that area and they're not like there for the reason of seeing this piece. And we don't want it to be, we wanted it to be more, like, cohesive, so that no matter which direction you're driving in, the story is still, like, cohesive if you're not, like, depending on the street that you're driving on.
Yeah, it's on a curved building, so
Yeah.
it has two
It's
sides
on
to it.
2 streets. Yeah. No, that's a really great approach. Thanks for bringing that up.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, we have, oh yeah, Kathy, you want to ask a question? Hello.
Ron, I mostly want to comment that I'm just completely amazed at the fact that you pulled a project off in such a short amount of time with, I mean, how many are there of you? Like 30?
25.
25, and most of you probably haven't met before. So the idea that you could, I mean, you know, one is people's perception of art is, you know, strong personality, ego, you know, working on your own idea, owning an idea. I think I'm so impressed with how you came together as a group, came up with an idea. Each, I mean, it's an expression of the total, and yet each individual has their own thing. I'm curious as to was there some major takeaway from this that each of you got? I think, I can't wait to see the final piece. I mean, it's like the illustration is absolutely exquisite. I the same thing, Lori, that you noticed. I was like, that is the idea of something that, I guess, I don't know if it's all rendered by hand or if it is all rendered by digital tools, but still it's an amazing compilation and collaboration. So what was the one big thing that you all learned about yourself in doing this project?
Okay, let's see. Who?
Kiara has her hand up.
Kiara, yeah, go for it.
So for me, the one thing that I like really took away from this was learning how to like communicate with people and like all of my peers, I guess, and like collaborating with them. I think that was like one thing that I think I benefited from with this.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
It's a great answer.
Yeah.
I would be curious to hear Cameron's answer to that question personally. What do you think you'll take away with you from this?
Abby.
You called me?
Yeah, I called on you.
Oh, I feel special.
You must know something.
You are special.
Thank you. So what I got from this was that, well, to work in a team and to feel part of something, that's what I benefited from this. And I think it changed my perspective on how people do art. Like there are many, Monica, there's many ways to do art. So that's basically what I benefited. Like perspectives have changed, and I feel connected to the people around me from what we all have in common.
Are you wearing the shirt?
Yeah, I'm wearing the shirt.
Can you show it off? Let's see. Yeah, we had a street artist named Atomic.
I don't know.
Can you come a little closer?
My room's kind of orange.
Can you come a little closer to the screen? Yeah, oh, right there. We almost saw it.
He doesn't have his headphones in.
What happened?
Oh yeah. Can you bring like the image closer to the screen, or the camera, I should say?
There you go.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and can you show the back too?
Oh, let me see.
Even model. Yeah, so we got Locust Art Builders. Build the world you imagine. And yeah, we see it. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for modeling for us.
No problem.
Yeah. And we had Atomic, a street artist. He designed that for our group for this year, and I think he did such a great job at capturing the spirit of all this. Abby, you wanted to say something.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say like something that I learned from the experience was like how to adapt, because I applied to the program with photography, but none of my pictures really align with the theme, so I adapted, and I actually really love to write. So I took that and wrote just like a bunch of poems and pieces that aligned with the theme, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think that's a great comment. You know, that's something I probably wouldn't think maybe one of you would say, but I think it's a big part of the truth. I think someone once told me that like as a human species, like our advantages are in adapting. And I think being an artist, you know, it is about after. I mean, something gets thrown at you, like, or you know, a wall breaks down or something as your exhibition gets built, or your artwork, you know, parts fail, and you have to kind of go through it. And so I love that you said that, because I actually didn't fully know that. And so it's beautiful, and it's true, because we all have to adapt as things change. I mean, right now, I mean, hello, look at us, we're online. You know, we're adapting. And I think that's the way for us to keep our spirits alive and keep creating and keep pushing forward, because life is hard. It's hard. So fortunately, making stuff, we can channel it, you know, it can go somewhere.
Hey,
Oh,
so, Monica, I just wanted to know further to that, have any of you started working with a completely different media or medium that you haven't? Oh, Isabella, I see your hand up. Oh, a number of you. Oh, can you tell us a bit about that?
So I originally work with anything that's like in the lines of like painting, graphic design, and I recently just got my camera, like my first ever camera. So I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of this and make a video. And and then I pitched in the idea of making a video for this exhibition, and then like I'm guessing majority of everybody liked the idea, so we ended up going with it.
Yep.
That's really great.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to kind of give a shout out. Thank you to the teachers who have, you know, encouraged their students. Like I see, you know, Wes here. I saw
Tom Virgin actually has his hand up. I think he.
Oh yeah, and I see Rachel as well.
So, there were a couple people who want to answer Liz's question. I saw Olivia and a couple others. Come on, Olivia.
So much conversation happening.
Better answer to another question that I have in mind already, but I just wanted to say like the same thing as Isabella. Like we worked on the video together, and that was something I don't usually do. So yeah.
Experimenting, fun.
Anybody else?
Scary fun.
I think Miona wanted to answer that question, Liz's question.
Yeah, I wanted to say I normally like work with like painting and like watercolor. And like some other random things because of my mom, but I was horrible at drawing. So this was like my opportunity to practice like how to draw better and like yeah, like basically for practice and like get better at it. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah,
it's really great.
And you were shining in it, you know? You really dove in, and it was beautiful to see. Like those cards, woo. Okay, so does anyone else have a question for our students? We would love to, I guess, hear your thoughts. Yeah, Tom.
So I'm wondering if you guys were on the zombie schedule or on the daylight schedule, because there's a very wide feed into the world right now. And I'm wondering if you guys talk to each other as a group or individually a lot more than you had when you were in school. Because some of you are new meeting each other. And I know I have kids that I still talk to in school. And there's people that I see that are printers every Friday all over the world. And now these guys who I barely knew are friends.
Well, I want to answer that question. I feel like a big part of that is social media and the era that we're in, because nowadays you could just be added in random group chat. Like, for example, I always used to stay in the house or whatever. I just recently started going out, so I didn't really know anybody in my Miami area, such as like friends or whatever. Like in school, I didn't really talk to anybody. So now I'm starting to go out and meet people, and it's like people are saying Instagram names, they're saying their handles, and I'm like, what? Who are these people? And it's like I run into them at the parties, at Trump parties. This was my like first Trump party because, you know, I graduated class of 2020. So one of my friends was having a Trump party. So I go over there, and then they're like, oh, that's DJ D, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. And I'm like, who are these people? Then it's like I started, you know, being more aware on Instagram and started following more people in my area. And then I just started getting put in group chats, people I don't even know. And it's like they just wanted to be friends based off like what they perceive me as from social media.
Awesome.
So do y'all think that after this program and after your exhibition, some of you will stay connected and maybe continue being able to work together and support each other? I see Isabella nodding, Cooper nodding, Kiara has her hand up, you know, lots of nodding. Anyone can chime in.
Like I was thinking, since we weren't able to like physically like meet each other, that after like this whole virus is like gone, I guess, all of us could like meet in person one day. So it would, like, I don't know, it was just an idea, because I feel like a lot of these people I might stay connected to, or like some.
Yeah, I hope
you all in.
I think that's a great idea.
I think because we all have social media and it's like really close, I feel like if we follow each other, we're gonna like, you know, support by liking each other's stuff, you know, interacting still or whatever. It could be like maybe a year from now, but if I see Ava's post and I'm like, okay, that's Ava, I'm gonna like her post.
I only recently realized it was Ava, not Ava. Sorry about that.
What year are you all in school?
They're all different. So some have graduated, some are like sophomores, juniors. I think we have a couple freshmen. Yeah, so it's a broad spectrum. Some are, who of you are just graduated? I know 7 you said you were. So Florencia, do you mind me asking you, do you feel like there's some part of this that will help you, I guess, in your next phase since you graduated high school? No?
Me personally, I feel that because I wanted to get a job and I was kind of forced to try to get a job that I didn't want to do. But then I came across Locust Project and then I'm like, okay, I could get paid for working on something I want to do, like art. And it really made me feel that, you know what, I could really do this. Because a lot of people be like, oh, you can't get no real job with, you know, with music, because I'm a musical artist and, you know, arts, you know, same thing. So it was like, okay, there's really jobs out there for me in my field.
Yeah, and it's true. I'm happy you said that because, yeah, this is the first year we were able to, you know, shift around our funds since we're not like providing like lunches and stuff. We're able to provide basically some an artist fee for this, and you know, it's great because everybody needs help right now, and so I thank Lori for organizing all of that to make that happen, because yeah, it's you know, helpful to all of you, and you know, it helps you not get a regular job.
Right. But also, you know, it's also your step into the creative world, your professional world, as Seven was saying. You know, artists should be paid for their time. So you're getting that first introduction. Florencia, you wanted to say something?
I think you're muted still, Florencia.
Oh, you're not muted. It's I don't think your microphone is working.
No, it's muted.
There we go. Heard something.
Maybe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm usually used to working in small groups for art projects and stuff like that. So like working as like 25 people, a whole group, is like something new to me, and also something I might do in the future if I choose to work with more people. But basically, yeah, like this is all new to me, like joining something that isn't school related and that's just like in a bigger space, because I'm not used to this.
No, yeah, I mean, probably most of you all are not used to this.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we want to do this, to get your foot in the door, you know, get you into the right, you know, places. If we can set you all up with like, you know, internships even later, or you know, you want to stay involved with Locust, you know, helping artists out or trading skills. That's a big part of, I mean, Locust is about the artists, and it's really beautiful to see that an institution is, you know, still supporting this idea after so many years, you know, so many cycles of the world happening.
Monica, we have about 10 more minutes, so I'm curious if any of the students want to add anything that we haven't covered, if there's anything you want to share before we sign off. Olivia has her hand up.
I know I've talked a lot, I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to say, Liz, you made a big impact on me. You remind me a lot of my aunt, and I like look up to her so much as like a person and an artist and whatever, and maybe curation is something I want to do when I'm older. So like hearing you talk was like, loved that, you know. Also, just while I'm here, I want to say thank you to everyone, you know, for like this opportunity, you know. I'm about to get deep right now. Sometimes, you know, I don't know if like anyone else, I don't know if people can relate to this, but sometimes I feel like I'm someone who's like given a lot of the opportunities, you know, and like I kind of wanted to join Locust Projects to see that I could like do something like by myself, you know. I didn't really need like help from like my family or anything like that. So like coming here and meeting everyone. Also, I saw Cooper for the first time. He went to my old school and then he left, but we reunited, you know. And you know, just like being a part of like a group where I like feel like I add something, that means a lot. So yeah, I'm happy that I did this.
Great. Well, we're so happy that you're here and that all of you are here. And you know, I would encourage you to not apologize for speaking up. Like, we love hearing from you. We love hearing from everyone. And I'm so happy to know, you know, how much this program has meant to you, and that, you know, the guests, you know, Liz and we had some other great speakers contributed so much, and I'm glad you got a range of perspectives. Go ahead, Monica.
Sorry. I did want to reference a lot of the speakers. We had Octavia Yearwood. She's wonderful with like getting the kids active. I don't want to call you guys kids. You're not kids. You guys are you know, basically young adults. We treat you like adults, basically. And we had Tom Wheeler Castillo, Liz Shannon. We also had Samuel Lopez de Victoria doing more AR and interactive like digital art stuff. Oh my goodness, who am I forgetting?
Francesco and Jason.
Francesco, Lou Castro, and then Jason Fitzroy Jeffers.
Yeah.
Yes. And so
a broad range of experience and, you know, different fields that they all work in. I'm sure they all had a lot of great insight too.
Oh yeah, what beautiful people and what beautiful artists, and they like gave their hearts to all the students here, so I need to acknowledge them too. But yeah, thank you very much everybody for coming on here. Oh, one more thought by Kiara.
Yeah, so like my teacher, she like kind of pushed me to do this. I think I saw her here. I don't know. I think I saw her.
She's there.
She's waving at you right now. Yeah, thank you.
But like, I really appreciate that she did that, because I was able to experience a lot of new things and meet like really cool people. And so I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, thank you to all teachers who have really helped really push the right students. Yeah, it's wonderful.
One question.
Yes, yes.
Karen.
How will the work be installed in the windows?
It's going to be vinyl, all vinyl across all the windows. And it's 80 feet long. It's a massive project.
When does it open?
As soon as we get the files, the final files, it goes straight to the sign maker. It's just a question of how long it takes to print. but it should be by next week, hopefully, if we get everything set.
Yeah, so basically all of next month it'll be up. So the month of August, keep your eyes out on that corner right next to Locust. It will be going up. And I encourage you to, if you have the time, get out and maybe walk around it, because there's gonna be little details, supposedly, that we're gonna have in there, right? Right, team?
Cool.
Great.
All right, well, thank you so much, everybody. This has been so wonderful to hear. And thank you for everyone's thoughts and encouragement, and for this program, you know, and belief in it, and belief in these next wave of Miami makers. Yeah, we're gonna see, keep these names on your radar, you know?
One sec, Wes, do you want to say anything, Mr. Charles, as our Locust Projects founder and one of our teaching artists?
Just that I'm, I'm blown away, as usual. Very proud of everybody's hard work across the board. Looking forward to seeing the piece, and congratulations. I'm blown away.
Cool. Thanks, Wes.
Thank you.
Congrats all. Thank you all.
All right, yeah, thank you.
Fantastic job.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the students too for sharing so much.
Great. Thank you.
Cool.